Got some breaking news. Elon Musk and Donald Trump have just unleashed their most audacious plan yet. DOGE agents are storming Washington with a mission to slash $2 trillion in government waste. But here's where it gets interesting. Nearly half of federal employees are already plotting resistance. These bureaucrats living on your tax dollars are openly declaring that they will defy the incoming president. Meanwhile, Senator Schmidt has filed the Eraser Act, demanding agency cut 3 regulations for every new one they create. The swamp is in panic mode, folks, and for good reason. The DOGE army isn't just cutting waste, they're dismantling the deep state. In America, while government bureaucrats resist change and waste your tax dollars, there's another battle being waged against your masculinity. Think about it. The same system that bleeds our country dry is attacking traditional male values. But now you can fight back. Test Boost, developed by our friends at Sculpt Nation, uses 8 powerful natural ingredients to help reclaim what's rightfully yours. Don't let them win. Take back your masculine edge and support your testosterone levels naturally. Visit sculptnation.com/NNN and save up to 51% off your first order. That's sculptnation.com/NNN. Fight back today. Okay, lots of news to get to in this segment. President Trump and Elon plan to appoint 2 cost-cutting representatives at most federal agencies to cut at least $2 trillion as soon as possible. Reports are emerging that nearly half of federal employees are now plotting to oppose and resist President Trump. Well, of course, they should be the first ones to get fired. Exciting times are upon us. Elon Musk, 8 hours ago, reporting, just want to express appreciation for President Donald Trump and so many people, both inside and outside of government, supporting DOGE. I'm confident the American people will be happy with the outcome. Well, I cannot wait for the outcome. I am probably the DOGE's biggest cheerleader. And here is Senator Eric Schmidt. Remember when Donald Trump, when his first administration, he had a policy in place. If you want to have one regulation, you want to introduce one, you got to cut 2. Well, now this senator is about to codify something similar into law, and it's getting some support in Congress.
Unless the agency, President Trump will soon occupy the White House. DOGE will soon get to work, and we can finally have some real momentum to dismantle the administrative state once and for all, returning the power back to the people. To ensure that President Trump and DOGE hit the ground running, yesterday I introduced 2 bills that are a critical 1-2 punch in dismantling the administrative state. The first bill is called the Eraser Act, which prohibits any agency from issuing a rule unless the same agency has repealed at least 3 rules. Additionally, the bill prohibits an agency from issuing a major rule unless the agency has repealed 3 or more rules and the cost of the new major rule is less than or equal to the cost of the rule that's being repealed. This would make agencies think twice before promulgating new regulations, and because these agencies are addicted to the power that comes from regulating Americans, it could have the added benefit of stripping many regulations from the books altogether and freeing Americans from the bonds of over-regulation. The second bill is called the Separation of Powers Restoration Act, which builds on the Supreme Court's ruling in the Loper-Bright case and tearing down of the Chevron deference that we've lived with for decades. This bill would enact a stricter standard of review. No longer can agencies expect the courts to just side with their interpretation of the statute like they could when Chevron deference was in place. This bill would institute a de novo standard of review. Under a de novo standard of review, courts will weigh the merits of the arguments without deference standard to either side, placing American citizens and businesses either caught on the wrong side of regulatory enforcement action or challenging the validity in the first place on equal footing in a court with that agency. This is a critical effort which will strip power away from the unelected bureaucrats and put the power back in the hands of Americans. I look forward to working hand in hand with the Trump administration and with Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy and my colleagues in the DOGE caucus to finally reform and dismantle the administrative state, shrink the size of the federal government, reinstitute fiscal sanity here in Washington, and stop these agencies from burdening American citizens with their onerous regulatory schemes. Mr. President, I yield back.
Yield back, baby. Let's go. Unleash the Kraken. And now we have this. Oh, check this out. Here's Rand Paul. Gotta love this guy, man. I love Rand. I love his father. You know, his father, Ron, is one of the DOGE advisors. Here is Senator Rand Paul bringing charts, bringing the receipts to the Senate floor to expose the fact that ultra-rich, I didn't know this, ultra-rich Hollywood entertainers can get government insurance for their homes. And Candace here on X says, this travesty is ripe for DOGE review. Are you listening, Elon? Let's listen to what the good senator had to say.
Oh, Nicolas Cage. Boy, that's a nice house. $4.2 million in New Orleans. Also eligible for government insurance. Look, I love Nicolas Cage. I'd go to parties at his house, too. I love his movies. I'd pay $20 to go to the movie. Actually, I don't want to pay $20. I would pay to go to see his movies. But I don't think we should buy insurance for his home. If he can get a $4.2 million home, I'll bet you he could buy his own insurance. Let's see who else is eligible for government insurance. Oh, Matt Damon. He's had a lot of good movies. Man, he must be doing great. His place costs $20 million, and it's eligible for government insurance, too. You think Matt Damon would be embarrassed to find out that the government's subsidizing his first $250,000? Shouldn't we all be embarrassed? Program's $16 billion in the hole, and we want to renew a program without any reforms. Just keep doing it. It keeps losing money. Just keep doing the same thing. Maybe Matt Damon could buy his own insurance. Who else has a house that'd be eligible for insurance? Oh, Phil Collins. He made some good music. He must have made some great music. His home's worth $40 million in Biscayne Bay, Florida. Also eligible for government insurance. So, you know, I can't imagine how we couldn't come to a compromise. So if ordinary people have second homes that are $500,000 beach homes, if we just went up to $2 million, then we're only going to be clipping Phil Collins and Nicolas Cage and a few others. We have anybody else? Let's see who else we have. Oh, now Cher. She's been doing well for a long time. She has a $42 million place in Miami Beach, also eligible for government insurance. You know, we could go on, but the thing is, doesn't mean we don't like rich people or appreciate their success. I'm all for it. I'm just not for giving them free stuff. Why would we give them subsidized insurance? So what I will offer now is a second amendment, and this one might be easier to accept, and realize that this could be accepted right now. This entire program could be reauthorized with these amendments tonight if the senator from Louisiana will accept this amendment.
I think it's a great idea. But did you catch that? I think that Senator Paul's got a little crush on Cher. Oh yeah. Did you hear what he said? Let's see. Listen to how he introduces Cher. Oh, I think he's got a long time crush.
Oh, now Cher. She's been doing well for a long time.
Oh, Rand. Okay. Now, Wall Street Apes wrote this 5 hours ago. It's time to cut the federal government by 90%. You know, we can save another $1 trillion a year. End the Federal Reserve. Stop paying interest to foreign bankers on a currency we print ourselves. This is madness. End the Fed. Abolish the IRS. Oh, I'm a long-time advocate of those hashtags, baby. End the Fed. And this meme was attached to it. Give a man a gun, he can rob a bank. Give a man a central bank, and he can rob the world. And then we got a nice quote here from Elon Musk. I want no pay, no awards, no recognition or fancy title. I just want America to reach greater heights. Elon Musk, we salute you. And here is Elon's mother, May Musk. She's been hitting the circuit lately. Of course, she loves her son. And she had this interesting thing to say about people approaching him.
Elon says there's some corruption that needs to end, and he's willing to work on it, just volunteer work. And because of that, when I'm with him, I see other people come, very successful people. We can help you, we'll just help you. They're not looking for any kind of salary, they just want to help. And I think that's going to be good for America.
People are stepping up. They want to help. They want to volunteer. They want to see America become greater than it ever was. And they see Elon's leadership and they're stepping forward. And then this was published a day ago. This is the ambassador for gender equality. Last year, she wasted $350,000 of our money on 5-star traveling. And they write that we knew she was a fraud by those evil eyes. And this is, give us a heart for an Aussie Doge now. This is the Australian ambassador for gender equality.
Hello, I'm Stephanie Copus-Campbell, Australia's new Ambassador for Gender Equality. I'm incredibly honoured to take on this role as the lead international advocate for Australia's commitment to gender equality and the human rights of women and girls and persons of diverse gender.
Yeah, Australia needs a Doge committee immediately. And then we have this from Amuse. When Trump's first term began, federal employees opposed the new president and his policies began organized resistance, holding weekly calls to share ideas and strategies. I knew at least one of these federal employees doing this at DHS. New polling shows that half of the current federal employees openly admit they're going to sabotage President Trump's second term. That's why it's vital that Vivek Ramaswamy gets in there and starts cutting ASAP. Beautiful graphic by Amuse on X. 50% of federal employees intend to sabotage Trump. Recent poll indicates half of federal employees in D.C. are preparing to resist the policies of the incoming administration. Well, I guess they just made Donald Trump's and Vivek's and Elon Musk work a little bit easier. Oh, you don't want to do the work? Guess what? You're fired, right? Or wait, maybe I should let him say it himself. Here.
Department of Government Efficiency through the Department of Government Efficiency.
Oh, wait, is that it? No, where does he say it? He says it. Here it is.
You're fired.
Yeah. You're fired, baby. You're fired. Get the out of here. You're fired. Yeah, 50%? You want to oppose us? Get in line, baby. Get in line. Check this out. Did you hear about this? This is wild. Okay. 8 hours ago, this was posted by End Wokeness. Biden-Harris, did you know that Biden-Harris implemented a plan to spend $1.3 billion to shoot 450,000 barreled owls across Oregon to save spotted owls? What the hell are they doing? Locals ask DOGE to stop this. Listen.
Without solving the Biden administration first approved sending trained shooters into West Coast forests to kill up to 450,000 barred owls, just to save the endangered spotted owl.
We do know that they are currently doing this in some forests, more on a test case basis.
State Representative Ed Deal is one of several Oregon lawmakers urging the incoming Trump administration to cancel that plan. In a letter to Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, leaders of the new Department of Government Efficiency, they argue the plan will waste taxpayer money without solving the problem. The 30-year plan could cost taxpayers a staggering $1.35 billion, with each owl's death priced at $3,000, according to the Center for a Humane Economy and Animal Wellness Action. The plan has sparked fierce controversy in Washington state, too. Critics arguing that killing so many owls is an extreme and inhumane solution to a complex problem. The Biden...
Wow. Kill owls to save owls. That's the liberal mentality. This just in from the Department of Government Efficiency, using taxpayer dollars to defund DEI initiatives. HHS requested $13 million in 2024 for training for diversity in the health workforce. Department of Agriculture requested $3 million in 2024 to establish the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Office. Oh my. And then we have the Department of Labor requested $515,000 in 2024 to hire 2 full-time employees and provide for the necessary resources to support diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility program and training initiatives. The State Department requested $73.6 million for DEI in 2025. Okay, so that was a post from the official Doge X account. The current administration has imposed $1.7 trillion in regulatory costs on the economy per household, Costs are projected to be $47,000 over the lives of the regulations and will result in over $300 million in paperwork, 300 million paperwork hours spent on compliance. We also have this published 5 hours ago. Federal regulations cost Americans $1.9 trillion each year. If this regulatory cost was a country, it alone would be the 12th largest economy in the world. And this just in, Elon Musk's army of DOGE agents has stormed D.C., laser focused on the IRS. Yes, baby, the IRS, in a no-holds-barred campaign to obliterate government waste. Operating out of SpaceX's secretive D.C. base, this elite squad, handpicked by Trump and Musk, has a single mission to slash $2 trillion. $2 trillion in bloated spending. Musk vows to unleash a shockwave on the swamp as 100 agents prepare to hit by Inauguration Day. The IRS, the Treasury, Homeland Security, no one is safe. The deep state is shaking in its boost. Let's take a look at this rip from the American Tribune.
This waste through the Department of Government Efficiency. Elon Musk has been working very hard with various people, including Vivek. Will going to eliminate hundreds of billions of dollars of waste and fraud. And I can only tell you, I'll give you a little early report, they're finding things that you wouldn't even believe. So we're looking to save maybe $2 trillion. And it'll have no impact. Actually, it'll make life better, but it'll have no impact on people. It's not like we will never cut Social Security, things like that. It's just waste, fraud, and abuse.
Waste, fraud, and abuse. And the DOGE agents are about to be unleashed on the Washington, D.C. bureaucracy. Department of Government Efficiency has over 4 dozen agents sent to Washington, D.C., busy looking for ways to cut waste. Up first on the block, it appears, is the Internal Revenue Service, which the DOGE agents are investigating for waste. Yes, audit the IRS. Oh, here's a meme for you. Take the DOGE hammer to the IRS first. IRS and your paycheck. I got this one here. Pony Juan Kenobi says, here's a quick way to cut $550 billion with only 4 cuts. Cut the Department of Education by 100%. Cut the EPA by 100%. Cut the IRS by 50%. Come on, 50%. No, 100%. DOD by 50%? Well, I think we do need some defense, but I don't know about by 50%. But of course, they can't even pass an audit on their own. Considering the DOD has failed, here he says, I didn't even read that. Considering the DOD has failed 7 audits, 7 years in a row, they couldn't account for roughly half their funds. It's on you to justify why they need it. And of course, we have the fact that we have half of federal employees planning to resist Donald Trump. Ann makes a point here to state that in 2023, it was estimated that eliminating the IRS alone could increase federal spending by over $71 billion. Representative Carter has introduced H.R. 25, the Fair Tax Act. This is a bill to replace the current tax code with a national consumption tax known as the Fair Tax. So you've probably heard of that. A lot of people have been advocating for that for a long time. The DOGE agents arrive in D.C. with the sights on the IRS. And then we have federal employees making their own case for cutting more than the planned $2 trillion by DOGE. 42% of federal employees say they will resist Trump. Let's listen into what Mike Benz had to say on this.
Fired, and every single person who expresses an intent to resist the edicts and authorities duly granted to the executive branch should be promptly and immediately fired. And if firing them is not possible because of bureaucratic protections, they should be transferred to the Siberia office of whatever organization within the federal government they are a part of, so that they can be...
Wait, Benz, hold on a second. Don't you mean Greenland office?
No, the Greenland office will actually be doing something. At least that serves some
Greenland,
strategic
far
utility. The great mistake of Trump 1.0 was basically, not heeding the parable of the snake and the frog, that you let these people in, you let them keep their jobs despite, all of their attempts to sabotage the government from within. I think this time around, there have been many lessons learned. I think part of the mission of DOGE is to cut government programs that have gone rogue. I'm extremely heartened by the fact that we killed the budget the first time around during that omnibus fight in November. And that was done because rogue organizations like the Global Engagement Center were getting reauthorized when everyone knows all 250 members of the staff there are diametrically opposed to the Trump agenda that was voted democratically by the people of the United States. And so we literally shut down the budget during that fight until a new one came out that refused to reauthorize that. That should be done. That mentality needs to go into the Pentagon, needs to go into DHS, needs to go into FBI, needs to go into the National Science Foundation, needs to go into USAID. We have to have a strong hand this time around because that's the only way business gets done in Washington.
Mike Pence, what's your problem with Greenland? Come on. He says Greenland, they're going to be doing work. I like Posovic's point, though. Send him to northern Greenland. Oh, you don't want to lose your job? Well, you've just been reassigned. Pack it up. We've got a fresh igloo we have just prepared for you in northern Greenland. Now, the facts are undeniable. While federal employees plot their resistance, Musk's DOGE agents are already identifying billions in wasteful spending. From Hollywood elites getting government-funded home insurance to massive DEI budgets in every agency, the waste is staggering. And now we know why they're fighting so hard. These bureaucrats aren't just protecting their jobs, they're protecting their power. The same power they've used to strangle American prosperity with regulations and red tape. So tonight's burning question is this. If nearly half of federal employees are willing to openly resist Trump, how deep does the corruption really go? And what are they so afraid he will find? Share your thoughts below and join the MAGA Avengers Revolution limited edition Patriot gear dropping now at the link in the description.